Good evening, X-Wing, and welcome to Echo Base X-Wing Mission Debriefing. I am still Walker Darko, and with me tonight are Jake Ream
Hey everybody, how is it going?
and Kevin Leintz.
Hey everybody.
All right, so tonight we have got what is this, a local hyperspace championship
Yep,
Yep,
this was
it's
last night's
it's
up in the
the final
cities.
table.
between Andy Priest
Hey everybody.
and what's McDonough's first name?
Alex.
All right, McDonough. All right, so let's see. Anything to talk about before we get started?
I think a couple things. One, the 4T70s have a couple different variants now. This one has Wexley in it, so it's not like the three heroic ones that we saw before. We're starting to see a lot more of that in play. I know he did pretty good in Swiss. I don't think he went undefeated though, but I think he was X and one.
Nice.
And then McDonough made the final table a month ago at another hyperspace event and lost to 4-star Vipers with this exact same list.
I think I had heard him say last night that this is the fourth hyperspace in a row where he made top 8, and this is the first one that he managed to take down with the same list, the Pokova Finn.
Yep. Yeah. I guess the only note that I have is so I had never seen because I'd never played against it, and I had never played with Leia until last night. Afterwards, I was kind of dinking around with a list with Leia in it. She's real good.
She
That's
good?
my takeaway. She's real good.
Yeah,
She can Superman through space. What did you expect?
I guess Superman in the list then.
Yeah.
and you pretty much got it.
Yep. So yeah, I don't have anything else to take away on this one.
All right. Well, then, without further ado, let's go. And we will have a little bit of the title screen to start out, but
So the one thing, so when I was looking at games to cover for this episode, uh, this one stuck out in my mind as there's a few key turns, and there's some tunnel vision. I think is probably the best way to put it, and that's why I wanted to cover this one. So it'll be
So we are
interesting.
we're are we allowed to tell people when they made the incorrect decision then, Jake?
I think you are, as you have always been. We
Okay.
just have to remember to do it with tact, right?
So
oh,
while they're setting up, I mean, I guess we can go over the list really fast. I mean, it's just 4T70s. One's Wexley with Composure and Black One. The other ones are all just generics. One's a 3, one's a 1, and then Jess.
well, it's a little interesting because they have different pilot skills. I mean, a lot of times you see
Yeah,
all
I
all
know
the
he used
same.
the I know he used the blue a couple games to block with the I1.
hmm
So I think that's actually kind of not a bad idea.
Right. And then McDonough, all caps.
So I really like this jump out and try to just touch Poe.
Yep. I
Okay.
think you know that Poe's not coming into that. Like when you see an ace or an ace-like ship over there, you know they're not coming out, but it puts that early pressure on that ship to get away, and
Yep.
I do too. I really like seeing that Andy is just diving out right away and putting that pressure on Poe.
Well, and
Yep.
that's
Because
he sets up last, so you know full well he knows what he's doing.
yep.
Right.
And Kova and Finn are at least 3 turns from getting involved. Like this is
Yeah.
perfect as far as Andy's concerned. Like make Poe run to them if that's what he does. Fine, have the joust that you want to have anyway, but know that Poe isn't flanking you in the meantime.
Right.
Yep. Well, and
No, I like this a lot.
the other thing with that is Poe is not like super fast like Soontir or the Jedi or anything like that. With what the 4 forward being the fastest move he can do, aside from making him use black 1 early, you're putting a very good amount of pressure on Poe right off the
Yep.
bat.
And he's literally the same ship as all of Andy's ships, so
Right.
there is no
Same chassis. Yeah.
Yep.
Because let's be real, Poe's not the same ship, but he's the same chassis.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah, that is, as chat said, that is a fat Poe.
It is. I've been on record. I understand it's been useful here and there, but I'm not a fan of the outmaneuver. The rest of it all, sure.
Mhm.
Like I get the regen, I get the rest of it, sure. I just outmaneuver, not for me.
That was a very
So-
political way to say that.
I feel like you continue to just go fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well-
Yeah, either you go like a 3 forward and maybe boost, or you just dial in 3 banks for
Yeah.
PV.
Well, or you could 2 bank the innermost one and then do 3 banks on the outers. You know what I
Sure.
mean? But like I think keep your front and kind of close the door, but start to swing left in case he tries to do like a 3-3 and just like get out of there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but if you 3-bank and do a boost to the left, you get quite a bit of distance.
Right.
Well, I think don't boost though.
Right.
I think you continue to play it because worst case scenario, Poe has to run to the other two, and he has to spend Leia to allow Poe to K turn and not be stressed, so he still gets actions. Which means Kova is not going to roll 3 dice probably that turn, or she's not going to have a mod if she does 3 dice. Because typically he uses Kova and Leia so that he can get a mod, some kind of modifier with her ability.
Right. Because then you effectively have 3 ships with 3 attack dice. Because I mean, Finn is going to be adding a die.
Right. And I know it sucks here, but I still feel like you just kill Finn. Just fire everyone at Finn. Try to block him with the 1, and then everybody else just unload on him. Because
That
worst
would be-
case scenario, he spends his tokens on defense, and I will tell you this: a Finn without any tokens doesn't do any damage on offense.
Right.
And Kevin, there's
It's
a
just-
question for you in Twitch chat. Do you think Poe must still only be played with BB-8, or
Yep.
is R2 fine?
Nope. Like R2's fine, sure, I guess, but I'll never do it. Especially after I played 2 games last night with Leia. Holy crap, BB-8 Poe is ridiculous. So yeah, playing some games with Leia made me even more confirmed in my belief that he should always have BB-8. But I understand the R2 regen. So if I were not to play BB-8, I would play R2. I would never play R4. That's just my 2 cents.
Well, and the difference between the two is with BB-8, if you don't want to get shot, you're not going to get shot. So you don't need to regen. And I think R2, right, you maybe allows you to play Poe a little tankier.
Oh, for sure.
But I think we were talking about it last night, Kevin, with BB-8, you can kind of put Poe in a little more risky situations and still have an out.
Yep.
And with R2, you don't get that.
Nope. That's
And then when you
100%
add
accurate.
Leia on top of the R or the BB-8, like
Oh,
you're
it's
just
madness.
you're never gonna. It's almost the same level of ridiculousness as trying to predict where Guri is going to go with advanced sensors.
Yep. So I really like what Andy's doing. I like his approach a lot. I don't like Finn's approach. I feel like now Finn has to go fast. So if those X-Wings keep going fast, he could overshoot Finn, and Finn is kind of like out of combat for a little while.
Yep.
Okay, so here's the K turn. Was this the Leia K turn?
Yes, this is the Leia K turn.
I can't believe he K turned right here. Okay.
It feels like he's bring on the joust.
Yeah, when I saw this while we were watching, I was very surprised that he K turned here.
Yeah.
I felt like the direction that Andy was going was pretty telegraphed, and not that he was trying to telegraph it, but the way Poe turned right, and really that's, I don't know, to me the only logical way that Andy was going to go.
So
And you're turning Poe back into 4 firing arcs.
So I don't know how long the dial setting is. Since I didn't watch this part of the game at all. Is this a long dial set? Because I feel like we should maybe synchronize a pause and have a quick discussion because I think this is a key moment of the game.
Yeah, I think
Are
so
you
too.
guys okay with that?
Yeah, we can do a pause at
All right. What are you at for time?
7:56.
All right. I'll pause it at 7:56.
Well, I'm
Yep,
gonna pause
that's
at
where
8.
I'm at right now.
I just paused at 8, so
All right. I'll pause it at 8.
figure that out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Walker. You can start.
No, yeah, I was telling you. Okay, we're paused.
Okay. So let's think about this right here. From the resistance perspective on McDonough's side, Finn cannot 2-turn and not hit that rock, right?
It would be really, really close.
It would be close. He might.
If he can, because of
Fit.
the angle, like we might be off just a little bit. But I think if he does 2-turn to the left, then Finn is going to be very, very close to hitting that rock, if not hitting that rock.
So is it probably safe to say that you, as the T70 player, the 4-ship T70, is safe to assume that Finn is not going to 2-turn in, right?
Yes, and even if Finn does 2-turn in, I think as Andy playing the 4T70s, if you take this turn to go slow,
He
it's
doesn't
going
get to
to
shoot
do
you.
2 things, right? Yeah, it's going to throw McDonough off because now twice we've seen Andy go pretty fast, 2 turns in a row,
Yep.
and it's not going to allow Finn to be in the fight, which also means Kova's not going to be in the fight, and that means you either like you corner Poe or you cause him to spend black 1 to get out of trouble.
Okay. I agree. Because if I had to guess, Finn is on like a 2 or 3, probably a 2 forward, and then the next turn will turn in, and then Kova comes between those rocks, I'm guessing.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So in my opinion, so what is Andy afraid of here? He's afraid of what? Possibly a 4 forward 4K turn black 1, or
Yeah.
like a 3 bank something, or like a 3 turn something.
Yep.
So I feel like because they're all T70s, and I'm trying to see if he can do this. Like if you just 1 forward all of them, focus and barrel roll them all to the right, you cover almost every terrible scenario. And if he does, I mean, I guess if he does decide to do the one move that I guess I wouldn't expect.
Oh, cool.
And we lost Kevin.
We lost Kevin. The other issue about the 1 forward and barrel rolling everybody is they are all different initiatives. So the 1 would have to move first, and if it barrel rolled to the right,
Yeah.
then the 3s would come and slam behind it and bump into it, I would think.
Yeah, and I don't think Kevin was thinking about that while he was talking about that move, but
Right.
you still that I think if you go slow here as Andy, you're covering most of the options. And
Yes.
the thing that Kevin was talking about was the Poe doing a 4 forward and then using black 1 to do a K turn.
Right. And getting way behind you.
Yeah, and then you're way behind like Andy's whole formation there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how scared of it you really should be anyway, though, because it's just Poe, right? Like even if Poe gets behind you, you're taking a 3 die shot, maybe a 4 if he decides to use Poe's ability to get a target lock for the proton torpedoes, but you could be facing that if Poe turned into you, you're going to be taking a 3 die or 4 die shot anyway.
Right. And for people at home, just for a little side note, if you have like a little post-it of like a gerbil water bottle that you want to just post over Kevin's picture, I feel like there's a lot of things you can do with that. Oh, and now it's just Jake because Kevin's fully disconnected, but he should come back and the cameras will fix.
Yep.
But no, I see that. I mean, I think if you look at like a 1 forward without the barrel roll, or even a 1 bank, if you're really that worried about Poe.
Yep.
That might keep your options pretty open. But yeah, I don't think anyone's really afraid of Finn's offense.
No. I agree. And where Finn is, like unless you go really, really fast with those T70s, I don't think Finn or Kova is in the shot or in range to take shots that turn. So
I agree.
there's really no need to be afraid. I know the other thing that Kevin didn't get a chance to mention is knowing these players. McDonough does like to do the 4 forward 4K turn.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty well known in the Twin Cities community that like when McDonough is playing Poe, that's one of the moves he likes to do is the 4K.
And Kevin's back.
Sorry.
I mean, I will point out that Kevin did this to himself because he bragged right before the show that his computer hadn't frozen in a while. So, I think that's all taken care of, said Kevin.
Yeah, and then
or more. Well, I think that's all been taken care of, said Kevin.
So I don't know how much you guys got of my little.
Yeah, we did. I mean, my first comment was the barrel roll thing doesn't necessarily work because of the different initiatives, since they're not all 2s right now. As soon as 1 moved in barrel road, 3 couldn't do it.
Yeah, and if you have to like be cute about it, like 1 may have to go 2 forward, and then the rest, like the Blue Squadron rookie could just go 2 forward and then barrel roll, and then the rest could all do 1 forward barrels, whatever. But I'm just speaking in a general term.
Yep, and we kind of discussed that option. So are you all set now, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm back to 8.
Okay. So you have Windows 10 where everything just saves every time anyway.
Yeah.
All right, well.
All right.
If we're all satisfied, are we ready?
Yep.
Okay,
all right, let's go. And we might now have a little more time, too, because dials are not down.
Yep. Yeah. So what are you thinking? What is probably McDonough going to do with Poe, if you had to guess?
Gosh, now that you say he has a habit, I do think the 4 forward 4K does seem pretty good right there.
It's possible.
To get yourself behind all those guns.
And like, let's just say that happens, right? Let's worst case scenario that. He's going to have a single mod because he has to spend an action to do Black 1. So he's only going to have a target lock. Let's just say you lose 3 shields on an X-Wing. Okay. Worst case scenario, you lose 3 shields. That's still not half points. And now Poe is a sitting duck. I feel like if you trade an X-Wing for Poe, you'll do that every time, right?
100%, because Poe should be worth half your list because he's 93 points.
Right.
And that's like worst case scenario, right? If you actually lose an X-Wing for
yeah.
Poe. So I feel like if he's going to do it, you just, fine. I'm going to let you do it. Fine. Otherwise, if you don't, I'm going to murder you with all of my guns.
But how can you kill Finn if you only have 3 X-Wings, Kevin?
Well, if you block him, I heard he dies. And if you shoot at him with 3 ships, he doesn't have that many focus tokens.
Which is the strength of having, outside of Temin having an ability and being a 4, it's nice to have all 3s when you run 3 reds with Jess. But having that blue as a 1, that's your Finn blocker. And when you're seeing a lot of Finn, it's a very nice tool to have in your belt.
Yep.
Is that like SPF 100 Finn blocker or?
SPFs over 30 don't really matter, but I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
I did notice actually in a lot of games too that just playing Finn, I ended up taking initiative just so that people couldn't block me because there was a lot of 2s. So yeah, no, it's a real thing, and that's why I think the 1 is actually kind of smart. So
the other thing you could do, like Andy could do, if you really do think that, if he does think that McDonough is going to do the 4K flip, then he could also go really fast and dive in on Finn this turn and just nuke him off the table.
Oh, so you're saying like 3...
Just ignore Poe. Like, yeah,
just
like
3 banks and just right there.
Yep.
Yeah, you could. I just...
So I just heard
feel like
Sturm in the background going, yeah, we got 2 hours, right? Like, just mocking.
Yeah, you could. I feel like if this is a chance though that you could really isolate Poe for 1 to 2 turns.
Sure, and you could, yeah. This would be a good opportunity to do that and really put pressure on Poe.
Yep. And the 1 forwards don't sacrifice too much, right? Like if he
No.
does do some kind of shenanigans and you don't shoot at him, like okay, fine, I will just continue my joust with the ships that have to joust me, and I will out joust them.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Because even if Kova does her or what the Leia trick to get the extra red die and the green die, like it's a 2 green 3 red ship. Like it's an X-wing. You're fine.
Yeah, I mean it does regen, which is annoying, but it will die.
It will die. And the same with Finn. Like Finn will die.
Oh
We are
load.
committing to Poe going.
Oh load. I'm really panicking about this because even
I
if
watched this in real time, so I'll let you handle this, Kevin and Walker.
so just out of
This could be really great.
this boost.
I was about to say, or
So he doesn't block the 3 turn. Let's say Poe did like a 3 turn right ship right.
Yep, you didn't block that.
Like he is all in on the 4/4.
and there's the 2 forward with Finn, like we called. Well, I'm part of we, so I can say it.
Well,
I mean, it was
yeah, the 2 turn I don't think fit there, so you just have to keep going forward, get next to that asteroid, and then turn in.
Yep. Oh, he is all in. Because at first I thought, well, maybe he's just trying to block the 3 bank or something. No, he is all in on a 4/4. Okay. At this point, I would start taking some target locks.
And I think that's what he's talking about. Yep.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Well, at least he did that. I'm assuming they're all going to 2 bank now at this point. Boy, I sure hope he doesn't do a 3 turn. I didn't see this, by the way, so I don't know what happens.
Oh, like a 3 turn
What?
with that with
So
number with
why
10 in?
focus? Unless he thinks he's out of range, why focus?
I think he thinks he's out of range, which
He just
could have-
measured though.
right.
from
If
a
he would have
ship.
taken just a little bit longer on the measuring from
The other
the
one,
Red
yeah.
Squadron or Jess, can't remember which was which, but yeah, if he would have just looked at it like a second longer, he would have known whether.
Oh, and then that focus, like you're in range. Why are you focusing?
I mean, at least you're not taking shots from Kova or Finn.
Sure. Please don't show me a 3 turn.
Chat. This is a final table at the Dreamers.
Oh, that's a 3 turn.
hyperspace in Minnesota.
Oh boy.
At least that feels thematic, because Poe's a better pilot, you know.
Sure.
So that's no shots on Poe, is what I'm seeing.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How was that outmaneuver treating you, Kevin?
So that's the other thing, right? Because your opponent makes mistakes doesn't make a card suddenly really good.
Ugh.
Did he just roll 3 naturals?
Yeah, he
and
did.
then locks it into 4? I mean, I heard that's good. I also did hear that there were not a lot of good green dice rolled. Let's say that on Andy's side. So he just straight up takes 4 off of.
Yep.
Which pilot is that?
That would be Jess.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
And so, Kevin, this was the turn that I was saying was where Andy overcommitted.
Yes.
That is a word I could use here.
It's the word you could use.
He can still recover at this point with some town rolls and K turns.
Mm-hmm. He can. Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I hope he does that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you know what I'm going to say. So,
Mhm.
like, he's still in this. Like, that was terrible. And now he's in a really terrible position for one more turn, but he can still recover from this.
Maybe wishes he had saved some points for heroic.
Well, just can't take heroic.
I
Yeah.
meant on everyone else.
I mean, the red could.
And Wexley, right?
Wexley, you really should just use composure because it's dumb and it works really good.
Yeah, that's true.
But you could totally drop the black one title and put heroic on the red.
Yeah.
Like I guess you're gonna use black one, but I don't believe you.
Hey, Kevin, do you see Twitch chat? Tyler's here.
Oh God, whatever, Tyler. On a red, no, it makes sense. Otherwise, why are you bringing the red? Like, just bring a different ship.
Look, Tyler, if you haven't watched our show before, I'm not very good. That's why at Adepticon I was on the side talking to your girlfriend while you were playing in the championship.
Okay, Tyler says crack. Sure, crack shot sounds fine. I'm totally on board with crack shot. I think that's one of the best cards in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a point.
Yes,
Yes,
it's
please.
very good. So I really want to see some Talon rolls and K turns from Andy here.
Well, and yeah, and this is a great turn to do it because you kind of know where Poe probably is going to go. Like, he could use Leia to help Poe.
Clear the stress.
Yeah, with a white maneuver and turn it blue. But
Yeah.
like, you still have a really good idea where Poe's probably going to go, and you're still having him isolated from the rest of his squad.
Why is he doing a 2-turn? Why is this not a Talon roll?
Because he thinks Poe is going there.
My money would be on Poe just doing a 2-turn right or a 3-turn right and using Leia to help clear the stress.
Mhm.
Like, I would just assume that Poe is leaving towards the rest of the ships.
So with that blue
Or a 4 forward.
squadron, I think that brings up a good point of, I think we used to hear the Minox or Fly Better talk about it all the time, is if you point your arc to the point where that ship was, so like in this case, if that blue squadron rookie is going to try to target Poe, and if he would have Talon rolled, his arc would be pointed where Poe currently is, and then you would still have shots on Poe, right?
Yes, but what am I seeing right now? What is going on?
We're changing our options.
He's going to have no modifiers.
In the words of Bill O'Reilly, F it, we'll do it live.
He's going to
So this,
boost,
I
isn't
think,
he? Okay.
should pinpoint a historic milestone in Mission Debriefing series. Kevin is speechless.
I mean, this isn't farmer levels of dial maneuvering, but I just like I just don't. If he's doing this, then what the heck is Blue doing
I
off
mean,
by himself?
you and I have played before, Kevin, where I roll good dice and I tell you that's my strategy, and you say good dice can be a strategy.
I mean, it can be.
I mean, it's usually
Can't
sarcastic,
bank on it.
but
Yeah. And the backup, okay.
Silver Phoenix Fire, that's why none of my games have been on here either.
Well, like, if you're gonna do this, then bring all the ships to do this. I just don't understand this because I'm really worried about what's gonna happen to that Blue.
He's going to slowly pick off Poe.
I promise he won't. With no modifiers and Poe as regen, no.
Yeah.
I like that. Andy's whole strategy is to be unpredictable. If he doesn't, he just puts the dice. He just flips the dials randomly, sets them down. If he doesn't know what he's doing, there's no way his opponents can.
Here's what's also kind of frustrating with the whole what he did with blue. If there's anyone that you want near Poe, or I'm sorry, near Finn, it's him because you could block
he's your
him
blocker.
with
Yeah.
the one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So peeling him off is just like what? Did they just not even assume that he had a shot at Finn? Because I saw that they didn't check arc to Finn. Oh, this must be the shot at Finn. Okay. Yeah, he does the shenanigans and dodges. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So Twitch chat, that's Andy Myers saying that Andy making these unexpected moves and maybe trying to catch Kova or Finn off guard, probably not the worst thing that he could have done.
Uh,
I mean, because we were already talking about how he probably could ignore Poe and just go after either Finn or Kova to start with.
well, I mean, like he had a great opening. He
Mm-hmm.
just sold out on the 4/4, which, again, worst case scenario, he does it and you lose shields. Okay.
Yeah, and Tyler, you're right. Like if you just ignore Finn, he just doesn't really do anything.
Always my argument
Well,
with Finn. While Finn is
You
broken,
can't
there's
ignore
still
him.
there's still
Oh my
160
gosh.
more points.
3 blanks. Oh.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't fully ignore Finn, but yes.
No, but I'm saying, I mean,
You
as
can
a
play around
strategy,
him.
you can kill everything else and win almost every match.
Yeah.
Well, you can kill the other ships, Tyler.
Like Tyler,
Finn is,
yes,
if
you
Finn is
can.
constantly dealing 2 to 3 damage to you a turn and no one's doing anything about it, it's kind of a problem.
Oh my god. Have you guys seen the Simpsons Beer Baron episode where he's like, I'll catch you, Beer Baron, and you just hear Homer out of nowhere, no, you won't. Yes, I will. That's what I'm expecting out of Tyler right here. Like, you can't ignore him. Yes, you can.
So, all the dice have been rolled. Did he do any damage? No, he did no damage, right?
Poe.
He did no damage to McDonough?
No, there was a shield.
Poe lost a shield. That's going to come back? Okay.
Yeah, that's on Poe.
All right. Well, so now Andy has to make a decision on who he's going to target again.
Yeah, and what Tyler's saying too is that that pod, like the dial is so bad that
It is a terrible dial.
As long as you out PS it or you have a higher initiative, it should never be shooting.
And we discussed that privately too, that you should be able to arc dodge that.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's not going to use Leia for Finn's dial unless he has to.
Yeah.
He won't. So I guess you go all in on Kova here with those 3 T70s and you just go fast?
Yeah, just go kill Kova. Like try to
get
Kova.
Leia off the board. It is a lot of points. I mean, the only problem too is she is a little beefy and she's probably going to go backwards, which is also dumb. But if you think he's going to go backwards, I guess you just turn everybody in and you murder Finn. But I'm trying to think of what you do with the blue. Like, how brave do you think Poe's going to get? Do you think EK turns here?
You could.
Because you could just like go forward and take a focus.
Yeah. The other thing that he could do is if Kova's just going to back up and you think Kova's safe for the turn, you could use Leia to have Poe do like a white Talon or a white K turn.
Yeah. That's why I mentioned Poe maybe doing a K turn or a Talon, and you just kind of go forward with the blue to block it.
Right.
It also is like, how well do you know McDonough? Like, I think I've seen a couple of his games. He likes to back up a lot. I would have my money on that Kova's going to back up, not go forward. So I would just go slow and turn everybody at Finn and just try to murder Finn this turn.
Yeah.
Like, if you have 4 guns at him, you should kill him.
Right. And I wonder if part of Andy's like dial choices here are that he has played McDonough probably, a handful of times before and is familiar with his playstyle, so he's playing the player and not the list.
Sure. I also think he boosts too much. Like he's had like no mods on a lot of his shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you just like one forward and one bank everybody, you just murder Finn right now.
Yep. Yeah, and chat's talking
What?
about Poe Talon rolls and
Why are you... I don't get this move.
Oh, part of the problem is the table. You can hear from what I can hear the background of the actual video. I can hear Kevin talking as well, so it's actually kind of trippy.
Oh, Tim and I know this was me playing. I was playing against another guy. I was testing out a list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Finn's gonna cause a block on like all of them.
This might be a range one shot though. No mods, but Finn, has all the mods in the world. They both.
Yeah, I'm really concerned that this is also gonna be a block. Jeez.
Now, while I try to be the most wholesome I can be while I'm on here, but I think it's safe to call this a cluster frick.
Yeah, it did not go as Andy expected.
That's one range one shot, though.
All right, are we gonna see the backup? Hey, look, it's the backup.
Hey, maybe if he just waits, he'll just back right up off the board.
I remember at one point we were talking about that because I walked over there. I'm like, is Kova off the board? Like right when I sat down, it must have been like after this turn or something. You're like, oh no, she's on the board. She's just against the board edge. Oh, okay. Yep. So this must be the Talon roll.
Poe likes this.
Yep.
And the middle fits, so then he decides to slide it forward or back.
Doing a little Toronto roll.
There was a couple of people at the event that were referencing Toronto rolls. It was pretty funny. Just when people were doing barrel rolls and stuff. So let me guess. Yeah, he's gonna focus target lock. Okay, I thought he was gonna boost into range one.
Nah, you got proton torpedo.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
You don't need to boost into range one. Because you're gonna light him up with a proton torpedo.
Yep. I forgot about that card. Yep. Hey, look, a good roll.
Spend it for one.
Oh, only 3.
Two, with 2 crits.
Yep.
Yeah,
well, it's all shields,
proton
but
torpedo Poe. This is a really, really hefty Poe.
There goes shields.
Kevin, you are the Twin Cities gatekeeper, according to Tyler. It's your fault this got to finals.
Yeah, it's my fault. I'll take the blame. I played 4-ship resistance with A-Wings, and apparently that was not a good idea anymore. So, yep, that was my fault. I agree.
I don't know if we could blame you, though, Kevin, because you didn't play in the top 8.
Yeah, I didn't. I did not, because I played with the A-Wings. I thought it was good, but apparently I was wrong. Green dice variance sucks.
Uh-huh. I mean, we've been telling you for a while now that you're playing the wrong game because you're trying to play wholesome lists.
Yeah, well, I played a not wholesome list last night, and it felt really oppressive, but it was really good.
There are some shields. So Andy has 2 shields on his whole list.
Okay, how can we recover from this turn? Oh, he's still rolling dice. Hold on.
Yeah, wait a minute. They're not done rolling dice yet.
2 hits. Against Finn with the focus, I promise it won't hurt him.
Hey, look. It didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt him. Look at my shocked face.
Finn's not broken because he's been laying in that spa suit for so long.
Okay. So now he has a really bad problem because he's pinned with Poe flanking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
That being said, Andy has rolled how much paint?
Not much.
Well, to be fair, he hasn't had any mods when he's been rolling his defense, has he?
No.
True.
And he's been rolling like 1 to 2 dice at a time. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't rolled a natural evade yet this game. I think this was around the time that I sat down and started watching the game.
I think so.
Because this is where Kova's against the board edge, and I walk over there and I'm like, oh, there's not a lot of shields. And I look over at McDonough's side and I'm like, what the hell's going on?
So at one point, I know that the joke was being made that this was red versus blue. So red shields versus blue shields.
Yes, Vic said that, yeah. So how can he recover here?
Yeah, because I don't know how he turns around and gets Finn back in Arc.
I think you have to ignore Finn at this point
Yep, I mean,
and cut your losses. I mean, do you just like Talon roll blue and turn the other guys all towards Poe and be like, look, just use black one this turn, and then we'll figure out the next turn after that?
I don't know because I don't like the position that would put you in. Like if you
I mean, he's in a terrible position either way.
okay, but we're
But
trying
yes.
to look at the like how does he get out of this, right? And making putting yourself in another position where the following turn you're like, oh crap, what do I do again? Like that's not gonna help him.
What if you Talon rolled the two that are touching Finn to the ship left?
Yep.
And then you Talon you could Talon roll blue right, and then like turn in with, I'm assuming that's Wexley in the back because he's been moving last, and then like turn Wexley in and try to get like a boost. So that way you've got two guns threatening Poe, and then you have your X-wings kind of protected by the rock a little bit and at a distance, and then you can turn in blue and have a bunch of space where ships should be the following turn.
Yep. And I think that would give you decent positioning as well.
Yeah, yep. I think that's maybe the best way you
there's
can
a
recover.
gun threatening Poe.
And yeah, as we see, so we get a Talon roll out of the blue.
I like that so far.
Yep.
Give me 2 more Talon rolls.
Tyler, you're not wrong. He probably just black ones away anyway.
Yeah, but make him use it.
But you're making him use it. It's a resource that he will no longer have.
Yep. And then you're in a decent position to recover.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't figure out where all these ships are going to go.
Give me the Talon rolls. Okay, I guess the 2 turns. That's okay. But here's the problem. He's going to boost again, isn't he? Yeah, I see it. No, he focused. Okay.
Got mods, Kevin.
He's going to have a mod for a shot he probably won't have. Yep. I would take a target lock, by the way, instead
just
of focus.
Just so you could hold it. If he runs away, then you got it for later.
Yep. I mean, Poe's not going to shoot at that guy. There's no way. If he does that, he's dead or half points. And Blair talked a lot about this in War Room. Like, I think people with lower initiative, or if you're moving first, just need to be more cognizant of when they will and won't be shot at, and take target locks more proactively. I think that was a really good point that Blair talked about, because I don't see people take target locks a lot, and I think they should be taking them more often.
Well, here are all the ships facing the same direction.
So Wexley does his composure shenanigans, I'm assuming. Yeah.
So United Front.
And then take a lock? Take the lock. Yes, good.
Take it. The other thing that you guys, I know when I watch War Room, you guys are talking about, and I know we've talked about it before, is when you took an evade, like that ship is probably then not going to get shot at if there's other ships that don't have an evade or a focus, So presenting your opponent with targets of opportunity and using that to your advantage for your other actions in the list Like that blue could have taken a target lock, and then somebody else maybe
Ooh.
take the focus.
Hello.
I mean, some hot dice could really turn this game right now.
That's an aggressive 2 bank.
I don't know how you black one out of this one.
Yeah, you can't really. Actually,
I think he could.
you might be able to 2 bank black one left, maybe.
I was thinking
I
a
can't quite
2-turn.
tell. And then boost, but it's hard
Yeah.
to tell.
Well, even a 2-turn would get you out of 2 of the arcs.
Well, then you'd have a boost afterwards as well.
And that would get you out
Right.
of at least one more.
Right.
Is this the black one?
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
It's in a 2-bank. Ooh.
And then we're gonna probably see a boost, I'm assuming, after this. Yep. Okay, so he did have room to 2 bank. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that boost will sit real nice.
Oh, you put it down, McDonough. You have to do it.
Touch the board.
All right, so Poe's black one tile's gone. All right, and Poe is at least offline for a turn.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like
The-
Kova's the only shot.
And I think she's still unmodded because she did a 4 forward, used Leia to make it white, and she's stressed from the last turn.
Yep.
So she'll roll 3 dice,
And through
but
a
it is
rock.
unmodded through a rock at 2 ships that have focus tokens, I think.
And possibly range 3. Oh, we're going...
Tyler asked why he didn't regen there. I think he forgot. Or no. Yeah, I think he forgot because he took a disabled token for the black one. I think he forgets to regen a couple times this game.
Oh. I mean...
2, I mean, it's slightly above average, but not much.
Dice cup.
That's
Plus.
rough.
Yeah.
And then they forgot the extra. There was like a dice that got stuck in his cup or whatever.
Yeah.
And still
Yeah.
popped out as a blank.
Yeah, that's rough. No paint when you're sitting there with the focus token. Okay. All right, well, now you do some K turns.
Mm-hmm.
And Finn is probably going to do a K turn. So, like, and I think around this time, Andy made the comment, Andy Myers, that Andy Priest is still in this game. And I think he still is, like, he's behind, but he's still in this game.
And especially with the direction that Poe is going, the direction that Finn is going, he's still in. Like, Andy Priest can now regroup, take a turn to,
Yep.
resituate all of his ships and come up with a new game plan.
Yep. And I mean, he's got some target locks,
Yep.
so that should help.
Yeah, Andy Myers, you're right. It's definitely an uphill battle, but it's still winnable.
It is.
Because like he still outnumbers McDonough in ships.
He's only lost 26 points so far.
Yep.
Blue is in kind of a tough spot though because he needs to get rid of that stress.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to go fast enough so that Finn does not get a shot at him if he flips. But make sure that he's not in the way for the K turns. So I think he needs to like 2 bank or 3 forward. I'm not.
I think he could 3 forward and be fine.
Okay.
It'll put him in an awkward spot though, because if you 3 forward and then try to K turn to
He
get
could
around the following turn, or yeah, I guess you could.
He could 3-turn roll, and that might help.
Yeah.
So Poe banks away, clears stress. Kova still needs to clear her stress. And Finn flips. So Kova probably does like a 1 bank or something. And I remember after the game, I talked with Andy a little bit, and I told him we talked about the overcommit, but I told him really what he needed to do is kind of feint, make Poe afraid, and run away, just like Soontir does. And then he needed to just joust the jousting part of the list because he will out joust it. And as he removes guns and resources from the table, eventually Poe will become overwhelmed and will have less options. And I told him, like, if you trade an X-Wing for Finn and half of Kova, and then you kill Kova, you're still looking at probably 2.5 ships versus Poe at the end game.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. I said, you just can't be afraid to take the jousts sometimes. And that's just what you need to do sometimes. But it was a good talk afterwards. He's like, I learned a lot from this game, which is good.
Yeah, and you definitely learn a lot more from losing and making mistakes than you do from winning.
Yep. You do. So, K turns, town rolls, essentially the same thing. Seems fine.
I'm still just getting everything turned around and getting back into this. Kill the Irish shuttle.
Italy. He
Oh, we're
painted
going
it
Italy.
to be.
That's why.
Yeah, someone actually asked that question.
That's what the question was, and it could just be the color on the camera too that threw me.
So he does the one bank to clear the stress.
I mean, his name is
Focus.
McDonough. It's
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Irish feels like it would have been the obvious answer.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Someone had asked which flag it was, and then they guessed, and he was like, no, it's Italy. I just don't remember what the guess was. So the regroup.
No. Andy Myers is saying that he thinks he said Ireland.
Oh, Ireland.
Italy,
Okay.
Ireland. I mean, Kevin's got at least the first letter right.
Europe, and it starts with an I. I mean, Kevin still calls them freedom fries, so I mean, if that gives you a hint.
So no shots. All right. Full reset here. So now you can. So now he gets to make the decision of who he's going to start trying to go at.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably have to talon roll that one X-Wing that's facing the rest of his ships.
Yeah,
just so it
Talon
starts
left.
to get in position. I mean, it's risky going for Kova because Kova could just back up and be behind the rock. I feel like, and Tyler's not going to like this, I feel like you just go for everyone at Finn this turn. Just 3 forward everybody and then talon roll the one guy and just everybody go at Finn.
And I think only because Finn is the most advantageous target of opportunity.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure McDonough's just going to back up this turn.
I would suspect that he would, because that if I had Kova in that position, I would just
I
back
would.
up.
Yeah. So Poe's not stressed. He still forgot to reach it. I'm assuming Poe just flips. Although, I think if the Poe player were really clever, I'm not saying McDonough's not clever. Okay, so
That's
what
what
I
you're
would
saying.
do with Poe, I wouldn't flip. I would actually 2-turn and boost around that rock so that you've now spread and you're providing 3 different angles for your opponent to try to make a decision, and it puts Poe in a better position to try to use his outmaneuver talent that he took. Whereas if you just flip, I mean, they could just turn to you and then the joust continues. But if you actually try to get behind them, it's really advantageous for what McDonough's list is trying to do, at least. All right, so I'm assuming a talon roll. But why this way?
It's just the whimsy in Kevin's voice is always so good.
I,
Why this way? Said the fairy princess. You just say it in a way as if you're telling a story to a young child.
Yep, I would agree.
So one bank. Accept the joust.
I do agree with you though, Kevin. I think the town roll the other way would be better because it brings that blue squadron closer to where the fight is probably going to happen instead of farther away.
Oh no, he's going for Kova. Oh. Well, this is a good example, though, of something you can do that is good for you in X-Wing, which is present your opponent with the ability to make mistakes and make decisions that are going to cost him. And I think this game we've just seen a lot of like Annie trying to figure out what to do and just trying to make decisions, and has made some incorrect decisions, which is what McDonough's been trying to do, is force him to make incorrect decisions.
Yeah, Andy is in chat.
Yeah, and Andy, just so you know, I picked this one because I thought there was a few key turns that I wanted to touch on. So not to just show how things crumbled and fell apart.
If they fall apart. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, no,
Well,
from the beginning of the game until this point, I think things crumbled and fell apart for him.
yeah, like
But
the first
it's
two
a good
turns were
learning
fantastic.
opportunity, right? Like that's what we're supposed to be doing here with mission debriefing is we're trying to illustrate ways to get better.
Mm-hmm.
He's flipping, huh? Interesting.
But like you said, that's now closing down the number of vectors that Andy has to chase.
It is. Now Andy can just point at Kova, and there's at least one ship there, now two. Although, because of range and rock, like he's advantageous with his position. But I'd really like had he done like a 2-turn left and then a boost. And then because Wexley literally can't do anything about it. And he can kind of play that game of like, well, who are you going to go for? And then he also would have been able to have Kova not stressed because he would have been able to use it, the Leia charge on Kova herself instead.
Yep. And it does illustrate that point of when you have, 2 or 3 ships, you don't want to put them in the same area because, like you're saying, now Andy just has to point his arcs in the general direction of all those ships, and something is going to wind up in those arcs, and he's going to get to take shots. Whereas splitting Poe off there would have made it much more difficult for Andy to cover all of the possible angles of all 3 of McDonough's ships.
Yep. So I think we're seeing another torpedo, right? The second torpedo.
And what Jake said goes doubly true when you're flying against a swarm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
you really want to
goodness,
make them turn and pick one.
Yep.
And especially, I mean, we saw, I think there was like 2 or 3 CIS swarms at this event.
I think someone in chat said there was 2 in the final 4.
Yeah, I played one in the first round and won. But yeah, there was at least like 3 because there was a Dooku mini swarm, and then there was a 3 hyena, 3
bomber.
Well, hyenas are bombers. 3 drones that was also in the cut.
Yep.
I'm surprised. So he's spending aggressively here. So Poe's open to possibly take damage this turn. Hey, look, paint. His first evade of the game. I think I made the comment that that's what an evade looks like.
Yeah.
Damage engine.
And maybe that's what we do. I was just noticing Jake in chat that he said the previous game. Did they wait? We didn't record that game, did you? Of Andy's previous game against the Dooku Swarm.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay, maybe that's when we do.
It was. Yep.
He's thinking about the lock. Yeah, from Wexley. I think you got to go for it. especially with Poe having no token. Nice.
Oh, I guess Andy Priest is saying that his game against the Dooku Swarm was not on the stream
Oh,
table, so
dang.
it was somebody else flying against that
The
Dooku
Dooku
Swarm.
Swarm. Oh, I think it was Mayman, Robert.
That could be.
I think that's what it was.
You may remember him from trolling on Facebook.
Oh, goodness. So Kova's measuring, gonna shoot at Wexley, not obstructed. Yeah, I think not obstructed.
So 3 hits.
That's a really good natural roll. And the evades just continue to come for Andy.
And there goes Temin.
So no shot from the red at Poe, which is the shot he wanted. And it looks like unobstructed range 3 at Kova. Jess reroll. Okay. So it's Jess. Some tough dice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the dice were definitely not kind to Andy.
I mean,
No.
inevitably, if you reroll a blank, you will get a blank. But if your opponent does it, it does go to paint every time.
Was it range 3 either way? I couldn't quite tell from that measure.
It looked like it was.
Gee, I wonder if Finn's got 3. God, that's so good. Oh, these dice rolls.
But he has to take a strain to do that. How can that be good?
Strain is punishing, just like gas clouds. You lost your action. That's not nothing, Kevin.
Uh-huh. I'm sitting here trying to think of what Andy can even do right now.
He
You
can
assume-
get really hot dice.
You assume Kova probably just keeps backing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, if I remember right, Kova occupied that space for quite a while. Like, that general lane of the board.
This one's really tough because, and now, so blue is the one that's stressed on the bottom, right?
Yeah, that's the blue.
He's in such a terrible spot because he's going to get shot at by Finn, and he doesn't really want to shoot Finn because it's one shot.
Yeah.
And like the other guys are kind of in his way.
Right, so he can't just run fast out that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you. Oof, duh. I don't know at this point. Like,
I mean, the blue, you probably just one bank to the right.
and I guess exchange
could.
shots with Finn, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't really want to do that, but you don't really have much choice, like, in the position that you're at.
I'm okay with this 3. I feel like a shot against Finn's not going to do anything. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know, and if that's Jess in the lead, then you bank Jess to the right.
And she's at 1 health. Oofta.
Yeah. Or you go one forward and hope that the rock helps you with the Poe and Kova shot, but
1 bank. Sure.
yeah.
I don't like this, but I think you have to boost. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to boost, but ugh. If you stay there, Jess dies, right? Finn just kills her. Oofta. I just saw that. Oh no, does he block himself? No, he fits. Okay.
I did tell you guys we were going to get real wholesome on this show.
Yeah. I think Andy's just doing what he can to try to get a shot on Poe here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, pray that Jess gets to actually shoot. And
You're just trying to get a shot.
this is where we needed the backup sounds, like the dump truck beeping for Kova.
And in the background of the video, you can actually hear someone, I'm assuming Kevin, making beeping sounds.
No, that was actually Ernie that was doing that.
It was Ernie.
I later on asked, like, what sound are we gonna make then when she stops instead of moving? And we talked about like gears grinding, like something was gonna blow up. Poe do a 1 forward or a 1 bank?
So,
I didn't see the template. 1 forward. Okay, yeah, the safe 1 forward. Yeah, and then barrel rolls. Okay. Yeah, lining up the bullseye. We did.
Yeah.
Do you guys see that in chat?
Yeah. The conversation about lining up Kova facing the
So good.
board edge, and then you just back up the first couple of turns.
Yeah, as a deployment tactic. So while they're doing this, we talked about lining Cove up like that and then backing up for 2 to 3 turns to get into the corner. And then your opponent will be like, "Are you sure you set up right?" No, I set up right. This is part of my opening. And you just back yourself into the corner and then come out. We were having a lot of fun last night. It was good.
We were.
So this is what, range 2 obstructed, I'm assuming?
Range 2 unobstructed. I think
Oh,
Poe is
okay.
shooting at the middle X-wing there.
I think he correctly saves his focus here and doesn't spend it so he can have a focused target lock shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a smart decision by Andy. Because at this point, right, like I guess you just give the hit points to try. It's just shields. You just give them to try to get damage on Poe.
Damage on Poe that doesn't stick anyway because of the R2.
Yeah,
I know it's tough. Like,
oh, here you have to spend, which he
mm-hmm.
doesn't want to, but he knows he has to.
So that must be Jess that has the lock.
No, I think that's red.
Because Jess is only on 1 hull at this point.
Spending the lock. If this was Jess, he would have just re-rolled with her ability.
I think it was already used.
Just 2. Gets both through on Poe. This is when he takes the... Yeah, structural, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear everyone in the background really high pitch. Woo!
We were excited to see somebody.
We were all happy that Andy finally got some damage through and meaningful damage.
Yeah, it was hard to watch this one. So this, I think, is Jess's shot, isn't it?
I think so. He just used the words, because I'm just going to die anyways.
So yes, it's Jess. So I rips the paint off of Kova. all 3 shields.
Yeah.
And more woos in the background.
We thought this might have been like the start of a possible comeback.
Yeah.
That might actually be happening because we don't know for sure what happens.
This is where they were trying to figure out if it was range 1 or not. And I think he rules it in arc range 2.
Yeah, he said. They said, "Is that 2?" He said, "It's 2," and then they yelled for the marshal.
Who was sitting right there? Oh no, I yelled for the marshal because they were like judge, and I'm like Marshal.
Doesn't appear to be wiggle room.
Vic, I can't believe how long this game took. Yep, and she's dead anyway.
Eh. Oh, that's where Kevin showed the evade, just in case people were wondering what it looked like.
Yeah, I had to show him so he could remember what an evade looks like.
You should have done that like 6 turns sooner for him.
Maybe before the game started.
Yeah.
Had I known.
Is this because he was using stream dice?
Oh boy. We should just copy and paste Dion's little like rant that he has about the stream dice and the curse or whatever. So I don't have a win condition currently for Andy. I don't think there is one.
We said it. Lucky dice can be a strategy. He has to hope
They
that
can, but
all
dice
of his
like
dice
let's be
hit
real.
and all of his opponent's dice blank.
But let's be real here. Like, even dice aside, dice did not help Andy. But this you can really boil down to about 2 turns of just key decisions that really, really got him behind. Because when he has gotten shots, like they usually aren't bad when he's had a modifier.
But let's be fair. That overcommit to Poe would have been awesome if it worked.
Oh
Sure.
yeah, if that would have worked, we would probably be seeing a completely different game here.
Oh yeah, the game almost is over then, almost.
Right.
But that's like saying like the old Anchorman Sex Panther cologne. It works like 50% of the time every time.
Right.
Just saying, you don't get anywhere by not taking chances, Kevin.
Right.
Oh,
Yes,
no, I
100%
agree.
of
Sure.
Shots you don't take. He took his shot.
Wayne
And
Gretzky
he
said
missed
that,
anyway.
and then also Michael Scott. Oh god, I can hear Kevin in the back pitching an echo bass after dark. That wouldn't be very, very wholesome.
With Dugan? Oh, it'd be hilarious. Ernie was all about it. He was like, when are you guys going to record that?
It has to be Dugan and not Tim
Yes.
Dugan.
It can't be Radio
Not
FFG.
Tim of Radio TCX.
It can't be that.
Like straight up Tim.
Right. No, we need
Because it's funny. I do like this move here. Like, I like that he's just nothing to lose at this point, right?
Yep.
Try to make a play.
I believe the kids call it YOLO.
So Andy Priest is still in the chat on Twitch, and he said that's a good lesson though in these tourneys. If you have a game plan, stick to it. Gambling gets you into some games like this. So Andy, I have a question for you. I remember seeing that turn before the overcommit on Poe down into the corner. It looked like you had set your dials and then went back and changed them. Did you actually change them and commit? Looking at the possibility of Poe doing the 4 forward 4K, did you change your dials to cover that?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I didn't see.
Yeah, I saw him like he had his dials set, and then all of a sudden he went back through, and I don't know if he was just checking his dials. I thought I had seen some movement on it, like he was turning them to different moves. I guess so. Okay. Yeah, he said he did. He changed his dials at that point.
I've been struggling. That's something I've been struggling with lately. For
Second
Andy,
guessing
like
yourself.
I frequently will change my dials, and then later on I realize like I should not have done that. I keep going to myself like, why didn't I just stay with my original plan?
Hmm.
It's a habit that I've gotten myself into that I need to break. Because I remember Duncan talked about how he often just makes the right decision the first time, and he's taught himself to stop changing his mind after the fact, because most of the time his first decision is the right one. And I keep going back and like I'll change my dials and be like, oh, why did I do that? Like, why
Yeah.
didn't I just leave it what it was? Yeah,
That's why when I play, not that I'm that successful, but I always have in my head, don't get cute. Like, it's the right move or the cute move.
sure.
You know,
Yeah.
don't chase glory. Just play your game.
Right.
So spends the force for 2. He gets 1 evade.
Yeah, Andy Priest is saying that. He says he doesn't think he's ever changed a dial and was happy afterwards. So go with your
Yeah,
gut.
I need to do that too. It's a hard habit to break though.
It is. Well, and especially when you start going through that decision tree maybe the second time and you're like, "Oh, but what if they do this and what if they do that?"
And that's
Then
also the
yeah.
risk when you're not a good player. That you start going like, oh, I wouldn't even thought about that. I probably made a dumb move, and now I'm making the smart move. And then you're like, oh, my dumb move actually would have been a lot better than what I think is a smart move.
Yeah.
Yep, and Poe did regen. We just updated the overlay.
And Andy Myers says cute moves are for quad jumpers. I also think Kova, right?
Yeah.
The backup. That's a cute move.
Anything that can go backwards can do cute moves.
Right.
So you're a big fan of the shuttle that's going to be available later this week with the Ghost.
I never said I like cute.
Oh, okay.
I just said they're cute. It doesn't mean I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We live in ice houses and eat gravel in Minnesota. It's just,
Wait, eat gravel.
yeah, you know.
Uh, you have some weird habits, I guess.
That's very strange, Walker.
Manly men is what I'm going for.
Yeah, I think you could have gone a completely different direction then. I mean, I'm wearing flannel. You could have went with like chopping down trees and living in the forest.
Yeah, but you're wearing like nice flannel, like gay lumberjack, not like manly man.
Oh. Wow, okay.
It's just so fancy.
Oh my goodness.
Like that's like date Jake.
Yes, every Sunday night I have a date with you two, and it goes horrible.
We had a date yesterday too, then, because we were together all day.
I was with Big Vic. I was not with you.
Oh, that's right. You guys were having your dinner together, your special
we
moment
did.
at that table, and then
Yeah,
everyone
we
started
had-
eating your guys' food too, or whatever.
Yep, it was. We were eating family style.
I just
sharing
heard Vic get mad, like, "Just come on, everybody eat our food."
Well, it was funny because we had both got two different things from the Asian restaurant next door, and then Tim Sturm came over and he's like, "Hey, what have you got there? Can I try some?" And yeah, pretty much everybody wanted to dig in. Twitch chat saying, I think I heard it on the Birmingham Barons, but one of the hardest things to remember is that if you have a strategy that's working, don't change it late in the tournament. You've seen the strategy every round, but your opponent hasn't. That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just think back to high school if you thought you had a funny teacher. That teacher tells that same joke every single year, and it kills
Yeah.
every year. You guys are just suckers. And it's the same thing here.
Well, and in high school, that's probably what, like twice a year.
Yeah, maybe. Depending on what kind of scheduling they have. Oh, God, I
Yep.
don't even want to get into that.
So we did have a good kick out of the town roll block on the backup, because he did a town roll to block Kova's backup.
Yeah. And that's the red, right? The only remaining ship on Andy's side.
The
of
term,
the
I
table.
guess, Twitch chat. I guess
just read that.
the term I was looking for was lumber sexual.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and
never heard
that's
that one
game.
before.
I think. Why did?
Yeah, that.
I mean, it was game. I think it comes back on.
Okay, because I was like, we see we have some time in this. I hear him rolling. Jake just got fancy with it. He tried to get cute there at the end.
No, that wasn't supposed to happen. I don't know what.
What happened was Andy got a little frustrated. He started giving the fingers on camera, so Jake had to put something up to keep that off.
The echo base edit.
Dion was not a fan of it, so we had to edit that out.
Yeah, I think that this is the nail in the coffin. Focus target lock shot. Plus Finn's there for backup. And Kova, right? Yeah.
I think Kova is there just to back up.
Ooh, Finn's coming in hot.
Not needed. Okay.
I think there should be something that if a ship with Rose on it rams into Finn, he can't take damage that turn. Something thematic.
No.
No?
No.
The worst part of any Star Wars movie, if I'm going to give my opinion, that scene right there. Everything about that scene.
Yeah. I think many people would agree.
I will take Jar Jar being tackled by Qui-Gon so he doesn't get run over every time over that. So, target lock. And nothing.
Yes,
There we go.
There's the handshake.
Yep. So we do have takeaways though, right? This is why we picked this game.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can go ahead and start it.
Play your game. That's kind of what we kind of got to.
Also, be careful when you're thinking about overcommitting. Unless you have sense, I don't think overcommitting is a good idea.
Yeah, you want to be as certain as you can if you're going to commit hard.
Yep,
and
sure.
don't let yourself get into that trap of. But what if it worked? But it didn't. So,
yep.
Because I definitely get myself in that where I'm like, oh, but how cool would that have been? Yeah, no, it would have been cool, but again, it wasn't.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and I think too, when you're evaluating the risk, like, well, what is the reward? Or like, if it doesn't work, like, where does that put me? And is it an acceptable trade?
Right. Is it recoverable?
Yeah. Because like I said, I mean, let's just say he accounted for the 3 instead. And he used that blue because he was right where he needed to be. If he just would have did a barrel roll or a boost, he could have blocked Poe's 3 turn. And if the rest of them just kind of like one banked or one forward in or whatever, they all just unloaded an actionless Poe. Let's say he guesses wrong and he does the 4-4. He is in a prime position where he can just turn the next turn, and all Poe can do is take a focus action, and that's all he can do. So you take some damage that turn, but then the next turn you're in a fantastic position and Poe is in a terrible position. So it's the trade. But yeah, I think that was the biggest takeaway for me of risk reward.
Yeah, and evaluate the risk and see if it's worth it.
Yep, and it's a good mental note for me, like to try to reinforce that. I myself need to go with my first inclination and not change the dials later, because it usually is a bad idea to change the dial. So.
Yep.
But it was good to see McDonough win. He got to the final table the month before. and didn't, and like it was a close slog fest. So it was good to see that, you know, he ran the same thing and he was able to win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got.
Yeah, he's and McDonough's been putting in a lot of work with that squad. I know I was talking to him a little bit during the event, and he's been playing it for, I don't know, a couple months now. I think probably shortly after what the new that last wave came out, I think is when he started playing it. So he's
Yep.
been putting in time with it. So
And you got to see a little bit of how broken Finn is. I mean, just as an ability, it's just
yeah, he didn't take any damage on those like 2 turns he got shot at. Sure,
right.
yeah.
So you got to see it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Finn. I don't know if they're gonna change the wording or if they are just gonna make him go up, up, up. But currently he's a bargain.
most definitely.
38 points. So if you go back to first edition, you can just have that and put him at 28 points, whatever it is, or what is it now? 30. Oh God, it is 19 points, isn't he?
Yeah,
If that was
Yeah.
first edition, 19 points.
that's a good 19 points.
What, a Z95 like with an ability?
A naked
19
X-wing is
points.
already 2 points ahead of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
mean,
pretty
to be
cheap.
fair, Finn's a big deal, right? That's why he's so good.
Sure.
Probably Mace Windu's kid. There's fan theories. Think about it.
I believe it.
All right.
All right. Well, without anything else, do we have any other announcements? War Room coming back.
I don't. We got more stuff from the event to give away, so we'll have more prize stuff. Like I got another set of range rulers, and so we had some more cards. I gotta decide what I'm gonna do with that third set of black dice. I don't know that I need 3 sets of black dice, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm still working on what I want to do for the next episode of War Room, so I don't have any announcements yet on when that'll be, but I'm gonna try to get another one in, hopefully before the end of the month.
And what, we're all going to be going to Worlds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll definitely go into the last chance qualifier.
As will
I
I.
will be there as well for now. Yep.
And then I might just be hanging out with Coach in the parking lot after that.
I mean, I heard hanging out with Coach in the parking lot at Worlds is a pretty good time.
God, talk about SPF 30. Bring sunblock if you're going to hang out with Coach. Just to spray on him when he falls asleep.
Just to do him a favor.
Yeah.
All
All right.
right. Well,
All right.
thanks everybody for tuning in.
Have a good night.